Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. Unfortunately, I decided to go away at the worst time of the whole year. I don't know why they decided to drop this right between Christmas and New Year's, but they did, which I was away without reception. So I do apologize for being late with this one, but we do have the Awakened Talene in the game. Looks absolutely amazing. We're going to go through the skills and just some basic stuff about these heroes because it's a bit interesting, like the way the signature item is actually skill ups for one of the skills, furniture skill ups for one of the skills, engravings are skill ups for one of the skills. It just all works a bit different. So we're going to go through it and basically just go through what we know, and then we'll pop a 10 pool, see if we can get a copy of her at legendary, because you can only summon them at legendary, which means we have a new ascension path and all that sort of stuff. So we'll talk a bit about it, but first we'll go through her skills. And the first thing that I want to note is if we look at her signature item, it is how you're going to get the skill ups for the Blade of Resurgence. So that is this skill. So these skill ups are going to come, I think it's from the level 3 skill up. It's the 240% one. Yeah, so the 240% one's there. And then I think the base level is the first skill up. So your signature item is going to be skill ups for this one. Our exclusive furniture here is going to be skill ups for this one. And then our engraving are going to be both skill ups for this one. So it's a very interesting the way it works. I'm not too sure how the levels are going to happen with the unlocks and stuff like that, but it's very interesting. But the Talene is going to be an intelligence-based tank. So when we go through this, we are literally going to go through her skills. We're not going to stress too much about the signature item and looking at the furniture and engravings, because they are literally just how you get the skill ups for these other skills. So keep that in mind. So we'll kick it off with the ultimate ability, A New Dawn. Talene spreads her wings and deals 190% damage 8 times to all enemies in front of her, after which Talene and allies behind her have the damage they receive reduced by 35% for the following 8 seconds. Effect cannot be stacked. When the ability A New Dawn is being used, Talene becomes immune to damage and control effects. It has a little animation where she's going to get that immune effect. It's not going to be like a massive duration, but it's pretty decent. Damage dealt to all enemies in front of Talene is equal to 210% of her attack with that first skill up. And then when enemies are dealt damage, their accuracy is reduced by 100 points for 10 seconds. Not too bad, honestly. 210% damage 8 times to be an 8. What's that? What actually is that? That's like a 1680. Like the multipliers are huge on this thing. Like all those skills, like the damage is just nuts. I think she's just gonna be absolutely broken because like all these multipliers, along with the fact that she's gonna be a tanky tank. If we like her base power is like I think like 30 or 40 or maybe up to 50k. Well, let's just check. So this one's 421k. What's the normal Talene? 377. So her base attack is 50. And her base attack is 54. So she's, even though she's a tank, she's still got more base attack than the other Talene. Like, I think she's just going to deal nuts damage, be super tanky, super supportive. It's just going to be ridiculous. Anyway, that's that one. Big AoE damage, get some mitigation for your allies and a debuff to accuracy for the enemies. Blade of Resurgence. Talene swings her Blade of Resurgence, dealing 200% damage 2 times to all enemies within range. Talene then brings down her blade upon the enemies before her, dealing 280% damage to them. After Talene brings her, and this is the signature item that we're going to get the upgrades for this one. After Talene brings her Blade of Resurgence down upon her enemies, the ground before her is set ablaze for 5 seconds. Enemies standing upon the burning ground will be dealt 120% worth of Talene's attack rating every second. The damage Talene deals while swinging her blade is increased to 240%. Upon enemies then get dealt 150% damage and deal 40% less damage. So you got some good mitigation there too. But 150% damage every second for 5 seconds. That's 750% multiplier there. Plus we do get a 240% 2 times, which is another, 480%. And then we do get another 280% on top of that. These multipliers are just nuts. It's just broken. Like They're just so high. Every time Talene dies, this is the next ability, which is Everlasting Flame. This one is the furniture that gets this upgraded. Every time Talene dies, she transforms into a fireball. While in fireball state, she is not considered as a living hero, therefore cannot be attacked or receive the effects of her allies. While in fireball state, Talene deals 150% damage per second to nearby enemies. After 12 seconds, Talene is reborn again with 100% health, deals 200% damage to nearby enemies, and also stuns them for 3 seconds. Every time that Talene is reborn, increase the duration of her next rebirth by 2 seconds. Damage dealt to enemies, these are the skill ups that we do get through that furniture. Damage dealt to enemies within range increased to 240. And I think this is going to be a really important one to get the 9 furniture. While in fireball state, each time an allied hero receives damage equaling 10% of their own max health, Talene's rebirth time will be decreased by 1 second, but a rebirth time cannot be shorter than 5 seconds. So I'm tipping most times you're going to get a 5 to 7 second rebirth time, but obviously we do get the 2 seconds every one from 12, but things will take damage, so I think it's going to be fairly decent revives with that ability. Moving on from that, we have Wings of Fire, which skill ups for this one come from the engraving. Talene shakes her wings, consuming 30% of all her allies' current health in order to grant them a shield which has a value equal to 3 times the amount of health that was consumed. Now I'm assuming it's like the consumed health from each ally, not like a combined total of all health consumed from everyone, because that would just be busted. So to me, effectively what this is like an extra 60% effective health, because you're losing 30% but gaining 90% worth of a shield. That's how I understand it. The shield exists for 8 seconds and its value cannot be lower than 300% of Talene's attack rating. All allied heroes using the shield shall recover 80% of Talene's attack rating as health every second. So very similar to Lucius there, where you get healed while you have the shield active. Then at level 2, allied heroes using the shield shall recover 100% of her attack rating. And then at level 3, Wings of Fire additionally increase the value of the shield being used by allied heroes. The additional value is equal to 20% of the damage that each ally received after the last Wings of Fire was cast. So this could get quite big if it doesn't have a limiting factor. And because it is engraving, we'll have to see how vital this will be. But it sounds pretty strong if it doesn't have a cap to it. It feels like you could get a really big roll on with that, especially for your secondary tank or something like that. So that is that one. And then we do have like this additional passive that she does receive. Whenever an allied hero deals a critical strike to an enemy, Talene uses the power of Solaris to deal 240% additional damage to the target. Each allied hero may only benefit from this effect once every 2 seconds. When additional damage is dealt to an enemy target, if the allied hero has a lower percentage of health than the target, the allied hero will recover 40% of Talene's attack rating as health. Otherwise, the value of the additional damage shall be increased to 320% of Talene's attack rating. Every time Talene deals damage a total of 20 times, her and her one most injured ally shall recover health equal to 160% of Talene's attack rating. That one is a massive mouthful. Basically, you want your allies to crit. When they do crit, Talene's going to deal extra damage to the enemies. Now, if your ally has higher percentage of health than the enemy, it does extra damage. If they have lower percentage, they get healed. That's the basics. Then, after she does this 20 times, her and her lowest health ally get a heal. That's the basics. It was just a real big mouthful, that ability. So that is Talene. Like I said, very interesting. I feel like there's still a few things that are hazy to me. The way, you unlock skills and all that stuff. I think it's going to be pretty routine. But yeah, let's jump into the Arena of Trials and actually take a look. Let's go begin. And let's first take a look at these animations. Begin. Let's see. So that's the first swipey. I mean, that's the one where she deals damage the few times and then brings the sword down. This is her ultimate. Like I said, it's a couple seconds, so you do get immunity to damage and control while that's happening. Then she goes boom. Let's see if I haven't watched for the shield. There's the shield. Shield looks quite clean. there's the swipe, 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 and then drop the sword. So when the ability reads, the swipe, swipe, swipe is supposed to hit all enemies, and then the sword only hits those in front of her. So when we look at this one here, she's about to do, those swipes apparently hit everyone, even though the range doesn't look massive in the animation. And that's the thing, that ultimate ability, as we saw there, it didn't hit the one behind her, it only hits things in front of her. So see how she's facing the wrong way, so she did no damage. So you want to have all enemies in front of her. So that's the key with that one. So, but like, I mean, it's going to be pretty decent damage. So let's just jump out of there. That's the animations. Let's jump over here. And let's put you in there because you're new and cool. We're just going to try and play it tanky so we can see what kind of damage she does. So let's just like literally just do this. But like, look at that damage to the, like, look. I mean, it's just going to be, this Arena of Trials is just a cakewalk. Like once she ults, like everything's almost dead. And it's like, where's the damage coming from so far? And I just think it's all Talene. Let's see who's down the bottom there. K-Source. Like, look at that damage coming out. Like, obviously these things aren't scaled hard. I think she's just going to be a monster everywhere. Let's take a look at... Man, I am still so impressed with her with the 1.49 a star. I'm still very impressed, but I just think Talene's going to be busted basically. Like I said, I'll do more testing, but like the multipliers, the base stats, everything just looks insane. So let's jump out of there. Let's go over here to the Noble Tavern. So we do have this new one. Unfortunately, if you haven't, like, I've been using my Stargazer cards, so it's really kind of sad if you've been using Stargazers because you could have exchanged them for this, which, I mean, she seems completely broken, so it seems worth it. Excuse, like, my screen size has made this like busted. Like, I think that Talene is supposed to be a bit higher, like in the middle of the screen, but I don't know, the screen dimensions are making this a little bit messed up. Like the probability thing's clipped, I don't know. But it's essentially, this thing is just the Stargazer, but like you can't use diamonds for it. But like I said, at the moment you can swap Stargazer cards, so if you do have any cards, go ahead and swap them if you want to. But yeah, if I had cards, I'd definitely swap them and start summoning. But we do get her at Legendary. So I'm going to have to confirm what the actual Ascension tree is for her. I'm pretty sure it's 3 Legendaries to get a Legendary Plus. Then Mythic is like Legendary Plus plus Legendary Plus. So it's like 6 copies to get to Mythic. And then we'll have to look how it goes. I can't remember exactly how it goes. So I want to confirm that stuff first. But let's go ahead and pop our first 10 pull. If we get the information here, the time emblems can be used to summon awakened heroes, yada, yada, yada. Summons also, it's basically just, this is basically just Stargaze, except it's for awakened heroes, and you can't use diamonds for it. So that's the basic gist. We'll have to see. We do have that exchange event going on at the moment. We'll have to see how else they let us get these. And how easy it's going to be for like free to play and all that stuff. Whales, there'll probably be packs for it. So we'll see how it all pans out in the long run. I wish I could just spend diamonds to buy Stargazer cards and then swap them over right now, but big rips anyway. So let's do our first 10 pull. The animation's pretty cool. I did do one single one earlier. So I don't know if you actually get a copy of her, whether it'll have like the purple or like the gold in there. So I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. I haven't really seen too much. So I'm assuming we have nothing in here. So we did get a gearbox, and as you can see, it's the numbers and stuff are bugged out. I don't know what that's actually meaning. But that's pretty much it. It's just Stargazer. No guaranteed on the first 10 pull, but it's basically just the Stargazer mixed with a bit of like the aesthetic of summoning from normal summons. But that is going to be it for Talene, the Awakened Talene right now. Like I said, I'll come back and I'll do some more testing probably later on today. I only just got back to internet, so trying to get my head around everything at the moment. We do have new events coming up and stuff like that, so there'll be a lot to come in the next few days. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.